Comfort zones feel harmless, but it's actually a trap. Every time you decide to not do anything but stay in bed and scroll through social media, you're not only hitting pause on your life, you're actually hitting rewind. And the longer you stay in your comfort zone, the harder life gets when it finally forces you to move. By the end of this video, you will learn 4 truths about comfort zone and why it's the silent killer of your potential. And the 4th truth, that's the one that almost nobody talks about, but it might just be the most dangerous of all. Let's get into it. Most people think comfort zone is like a couch. It's soft, it's relaxing, it's chill, but it's more like a quicksand. It feels solid at first, but the longer you stay in it, the deeper you sink, and it's harder to get out. Here's what happens. You might tell yourself that you're just taking a break from going to the gym. However, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and one day you might wake up in the middle of the night and realize you haven't done anything. You haven't done the things that you told yourself that you were going to do. Meanwhile, people around you have learned new skills, have acquired new jobs, seek out new opportunities, but you haven't changed at all. You are still standing in the same spot. Might just be more anxious, be more unsure about the future, and more terrified than ever than taking a new step towards challenge. Because that's the real danger of comfort zones. It doesn't pause your growth, it actually reverses it. You see, the brain works like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. When you avoid challenge, you're literally telling your brain to be in relaxed mode. Your brain literally becomes less capable of dealing with harder things because you have trained it to be this way. And that's why small tasks, small changes in life start to feel very challenging. You become more anxious than ever because you have trained yourself to behave and think in this way. Here's how you break out of the pattern today. Not next week, not tomorrow, not next month, today. Let's say you normally take hot showers. What I want you to do is turn the hot shower dial all the way to cold, even just for 1 second. Of course, you will feel so uncomfortable because you have never taken cold showers. Your body will literally take it as a stress response. But what that does to the mind is that it's telling yourself, okay, I'm experiencing something new. I'm experiencing challenges and I can overcome it. You are creating evidence in your brain telling yourself that you can endure hard things. The action doesn't matter as much as the signal it sends to your brain that you are no longer of the victim of your comfort zone. You are breaking the pattern, and that's what matters. Remember how curious you were as a kid? You ask loads of questions to your parents. Why is the sky blue? Why is a plant green? Why can't I eat glue? Your brain was a sponge, and because of that curiosity, you learned fast. But then you got older, you found routines, and you stopped asking why. And slowly, without realizing it, you have trained your brain to be on autopilot mode. This is the funny thing about our brain. It craves efficiency and comfort. Once it goes on autopilot, your brain will stop learning new information that allows it to thrive. You stop learning new information that could potentially help you in the future, and you stop stretching your mental muscle, which is crucial for brain development. However, at the same time, new industries are emerging. Your friends are acquiring new skills, like I said before. And sometimes you might even wonder, why am I so far behind than everybody else in my life? When ChatGPT first launched, I was one of the few people in my entire university to start using it in my day-to-day life. I was using AI to automate my task, to automate my workflow, because I can just get the information that I needed in a split of a second. Meanwhile, I was watching other people around me being very skeptical about new technology, being doubtful and fearful even of trying new things. They were spending twice as much time on the same task that would take me seconds. Why? Because I was able to adapt to new environment. I was able to adapt and challenge my brain into thinking differently. And that's the real danger of staying in comfort zone in 2025. Because the world is moving faster than ever, especially technology. If you don't learn something new, you will fall behind. And this is what you need to do. I want you to start learning new things now. Not because you want to be more productive, not because you want to be better than everybody else, but because curiosity is the antidote of feeling stuck. You can watch a documentary on Netflix that you never even thought about. You can start reading a new book that challenges your current beliefs and ideas. Curiosity is not a personality trait, it's a habit. And for every single habit, you need to train it. And when you reignite the habit, you start learning and you start growing. Okay, let me get this straight. Confidence isn't something that you were born with. It's built through taking action, through facing challenges and uncertainty over and over again, and proving to yourself that you're not only facing those challenges, you're pushing through it. But if you stay in your comfort zone, your confidence doesn't stop growing, it starts decaying. And I know this from experience. A couple weeks ago, I decided to learn guitar, and being completely honest, I'm terrible at it. Even now, after 3 weeks of practicing, I am so bad. Every single time I try to play a chord, it's just ear torture. And whenever it happens, whenever I feel like I'm doing bad at something or I'm not good at something, every single cell in my body is telling me to stop, because that's what most people do. But here's the thing, you are supposed to be bad at something new. That discomfort you might feel in your brain and your body, that's literally your brain growing new connections and growing new network so that it can learn a new skill. And after you push past those uncomfortable moments, your confidence grows. Because that's how confidence really works. You're going through challenges when you know you will be bad at it, which is why I'm challenging you to do something that you know you're bad at. Maybe it's cooking a new dish, maybe it's baking. When you survive that initial awkwardness and discomfort, you will prove to yourself that imperfection isn't what's stopping you. Inaction is. Confidence doesn't grow from comfort. It grows when you walk through discomfort and realizing that it's no big deal. We tend to think happiness comes from comfort. It's the opposite. It tricks you into thinking you're happy. In small doses, comfort may feel good, but when it becomes your default, it becomes boredom. And boredom left unchecked becomes misery. We live in a world where everything is too accessible. Back in the days, if you want to make food, you need to actually prepare it or go to a restaurant. But now, all we need to do is go on an app and order it. These instant rewards have slowly trained our brain into thinking we don't need to work hard for something that we want. Your brain was designed to seek growth and reward you after accomplishing it. And the rewarding chemical that gets released in your brain is called dopamine. You know the feeling that you accomplished something hard? Maybe you got an A+ in your exam, you got a promotion, or you finally ask out the girl that you like or the guy and they say yes. That rewarding feeling, that energized, alive feeling is all because of dopamine gets released in our brain after we accomplished something challenging. But the modern world hacks the system. We're getting dopamine rushes every single second. We have video games that gives you a sense of achievement, that gives you a sense of life without actually living it. And then we have pornography that gives you an insane amount of dopamine rush without actually doing the activity, and your brain falls for it. It's tricking your brain into thinking you are achieving something where you're not. But deep down, you know the truth. The video games, they're fake. The social media scroll, they're meaningless. You don't feel proud, you feel empty. Because real happiness doesn't come from comfort, it comes from challenges. It comes from you facing something hard, pushing through it, and achieve the things you're ultimately wanting to achieve. The person who runs a marathon doesn't smile after the finish line because it was easy. They smile because it was hard, and they do it anyway. And that's the happiness you're missing. You don't need a complete life overhaul to achieve happiness. You don't need to bench 250 kg on a bench press to feel achievement. But what you need to do is to disrupt the cycle of passive comfort. I want you to replace empty rewards with earned rewards. Next time, if you want to watch YouTube for an hour, I want you to earn it. First, spend 30 minutes into learning something that's useful, or take a cold shower before you watch a 1-hour YouTube video. The action itself, the action of learning or the action of taking a cold shower isn't necessarily the point. It's the act of choosing growth over ease that rewires your brain. So the question isn't, how do I stay comfortable today? The real question is, how much more of my life am I willing to waste? Because a year from now, you will either look back with pride or with regret. And the difference between those two feelings, whether you step out of your comfort zone today or you keep waiting for the perfect moments that you and I both know will never come, the choice is yours.